Hello and welcome to Pravus Gaming and Neverwinter. It has been a long time since I did a video on this game. That was back during the open beta. I was doing some first impressions. Well, now they're up to Module 4, which was just released this week, as of yesterday at the time of this recording, August 14th. Module 4, Tyranny of Dragons, which is going to be pairing up with Wizards of the Coast and Dungeons & Dragons' latest rollout of Dragon story arcs, and this is kind of required to tie into that, so going to be interesting to see how they pull that off. Along with that comes the release of a new race and a new class. I'm not going to be touching the race because I don't feel like forking out a ton of money, but if you want to do that yourself, you can. We'll take a look at that. The new class is the Scourge Warlock, and that's what we're going to be playing today. Now let's see, half-orc, human, there are different elves, including the Moon Elf, which will probably be a pretty popular choice for the Scourge Warlock. The new race, however, is the Dragonborn. I had that an ugly-looking sucker. Oh my gosh, he actually does look like a dragon. Well, yeah, you can pay for this class or this race if you want. They have 3 different abilities. You receive 5% more healing from all spells and abilities, which is fantastic. Grants you +2 to any stats, and your power and critical strike are increased by 3%. Honestly, this is kind of an overpowered race, in my opinion. Definitely tempting to buy that, but I'm trying to play this game for free, so I'm going to avoid it. Very powerful, though. I'm going to be playing a human today. Extra defense, extra ability scores, and additional feats. Pretty safe choice, pretty balanced race, and probably pretty good for the Warlock, so we're going to do that. Now let's see, what do we got? There it is, Scourge Warlock. So that's kind of what they look like. No subtlety here, you want to deal damage. You're tougher than the other Warlocks, and you've got powers to help you attack and defend in melee, as well as excellent ranged attacks. My understanding is this class is going to be able to fill one of 2 different roles. They can either dish out tons of damage and debuff their enemies, or they're going to be able to basically life tap and heal the party while providing buffs for their allies and debuffs for their enemies. So it's going to be 2 interesting roles, either kind of a debuff healer or just a debuff attack, one of the 2. We have 4 different abilities that are giving us examples of here. The Warlock's Curse. Increase the damage they receive from you by 20%. You can place this curse on up to 3 different targets, but the damage bonus is divided among them. That's actually really interesting. That's going to be a fun mechanic to play with. Vampiric Embrace. Rip the life essence from your target, dealing damage and converting 75% of that damage into hit points. That's amazingly awesome. Brood of Hadar. You overwhelm your target with shadows, holding them in place while dark horrors rise around them. Nearby targets take reduced damage from this attack, and all affected are slowed. That's a great daily. Wow, this is looking like a very interesting class. Definitely my style, and we have access to arcane objects. Very good. So it looks like Charisma is our primary attribute. We also have Intelligence and Constitution. I think that Constitution is actually surprisingly important. I believe that you have to life tap a bit, so we're going to whoa, that's not bad. 16, 14, 14. 18, 13, 13. Aha! That's not half bad at all. Alright, now if I throw an extra 2 into what? Do I want to do that into Charisma? Yeah, okay. Why not? I'm going to super buff up my my main stats, and I'll have to add more into Constitution and Intelligence as I go. But 20, 13, 13 to start off, not bad. Not the best I've ever seen, but it should do the job. So we're going to move that. Now we're going to do customer creation. I'm just going to go ahead and skip forward to this point and show you the final product. Stand by. Okay, and that's going to be the finished character. Kind of interesting, kind of cultic a little bit. Should make for a pretty interesting look, but of course we're going to be looking at his backside almost the entire time, so it doesn't really matter too much, I suppose, but there we go. Alright, let's move forward then. Where am I going to be from? Good question. Definitely not there. Sounds good. And I will be an enigmatic vigilante? No, I don't want to punish the wicked. I am wicked. I want to be lawful evil if I could, but warlocks have to be chaotic, so who cares really? Yeah, we'll go with and we're gonna be serving Tamora, no. Tempest, no. Beauty. That's not bad. Wish there was a more evil one to work with, but unfortunately there's not. Presides over the passage from life to death. There we go. Kellamvor could be fun. practitioners of necromancy and stuff. Yes, there we go. Kelemvor sounds like my deity. It doesn't actually make a difference, so it's just for flavor, but still. Alright, so there's my character. We're going to name him Pravus, because it actually fits, and I'm not going to create a biography. There we go. Let's begin the adventure. Let's start up the early gameplay of the Scourge Warlock. Now, this is not really intended to be a guide. The class has only been released, and guides are very few and far between right now. This is more just to provide an early look at what the class is like, and hopefully some of you guys might be inspired to try it out and develop your own builds. Try out the game for yourself. See what you can do with the Scourge Warlock. In the meantime, I'm just enjoying trying it out. Okay, those of you who don't remember the story from my previous video or haven't played the game at all, basically, a evil sorceress named Valindra is attacking the city of Neverwinter.
Are you alright?
And my ship was just crashed by a scary skeletal dragon called a Dracolich. Alright, Private Wilfred is going to be my first interaction. Let's talk to him.
When I saw the Dracolich attack the ship, I was afraid there would be no survivors. What brings you to Neverwinter in such troubled times?
Yes, this is an entirely fully voiced MMO. Wilfred looks different to me. I don't recall him having that armor before, but anyway, I'm not going to sit around and listen to everything they do because I kind of want to get through with the game, and if you want to see the entire story and sit through all of the voice acting, I encourage you to do it. It is fun, but I've played through the game before, so I'm just keep moving forward. That is my business. There we go. Why am I stuck in this position?
Press C to toggle it on and off.
That's weird. Alright.
Waypoints appear on the map to mark your quest's objectives.
Yes, they do feel the need to talk about... stop talking. Alright. Ragged Tunic has been grabbed, so we're going to search the wreckage for some more stuff. A brittle-packed blade. Jump into the inventory, take on some clothes. That's an interesting style.
Mouse cursor and mouse modes.
Okay, moving forward. Here we go. Whoa! Whoa! That's the dodge mechanic? That is freaking awesome looking! Okay, looking forward to trying that out more. We're gonna heal up real quick. Now the interesting thing is apparently I am getting a good frame rate, but the game is lagging apparently. I'm gonna guess because it was just released. There's a lot of people.
It's good to see someone.
I had my initial worries about Neverwinter's success in the industry, and to be honest, there are lots of parts about it I like and a lot of parts I don't like, but the important thing is it's one of the most popular free-to-play games right now with a really healthy community, so... Oh, now this is interesting, isn't it? Alright, we're gonna launch an Eldritch Blast. Oh, that's perfect. I remember playing the, Warlock in the Neverwinter Nights RPG back in the day, and I did enjoy a good Eldritch attacks. The animation looks great. I love the look of that attack. Pretty cool, pretty cultic. Green fire, who doesn't love that? And it does seem to do a pretty good amount of damage, but I am noticing I can't move and attack at the same time. So that's going to be important to note for the future. Let's get these wounded soldiers back up and running. Avoid a few zombies. Wow, that is so cool looking. Alright. I'm already loving the Warlock as a class. This looks great. But we're going to move forward and see if we can't get straight to Neverwinter and move on with the stuff. With the story, with the quests, level up. I do love my portrait in the top left. The green eyes and this kind of gothic tattoos was actually a really good call. I'm pretty happy with this. This character looks great.
Thank you for aiding the wounded.
Thank you for aiding the wounded, yes. In a very stereotypical dwarf voice. We leveled up. What did we get? New at will's power, Dark Spiral Aura. Well, let's see. First off, Eldritch Blast is just a simple scorching attack. Damages. Third Strike does AoE damage. That's going to be interesting. Dark Spiral fires a blast of dark energy at your target, expending your collected Dark Spirals to increase the damage and action point gain. If you have no Dark Spirals, you will create one instead of attacking. Additionally, you gain a Dark Spiral when you land a killing blow. Oh, that's going to be important, isn't it? Alright, let's see how this works, shall we? So I just created a Dark Spiral, I guess? Oh, yes, okay, so I see the animation.
Dark spiral to an enemy, or create a spiral if you don't have one.
But I can only create one. So, let's launch it. Doesn't do a fabulous amount of damage. Let's kill a couple and see if I can generate more of these Dark Spirals. I can have 2 at a time, okay. Does it develop a more powerful attack every time? I'm gonna guess so. 3. How many of these can I have at a time? Let's find out, shall we? Can have 3 at a time. Okay, 3 is the maximum. How much damage does that do in comparison? Answer, a lot. Okay, good to know. This is going to be a very interesting class. I'm going to think that if I continue to use this ability, then I'm going to want to have some pretty powerful AoE abilities, but let's see. Okay, very interesting. I'm liking this class. This is cool, and this is an awesome effect. I'm never going to get over how awesome this looks. Takes a while to regen your energy, though, so I probably shouldn't be using it too aggressively. Oh, I'm sorry, I need more arrows, don't I? Yes, I do. Let's see, there's some more. So you should always keep one of these spirals up at any time, I can tell you that. And landing killing blows just makes your next attacks more powerful. Probably good against groups, but I can imagine that's not going to be great against boss fights. So, endgame, this is probably not going to be very feasible. Alright, we got something else. A new encounter power, Killing Flames. Killing Flames? Shut up, sir. No. No. Shush. Thank you. Okay. Ah, dang. Alright, what'd I get? There we go. Killing Flames. You use your target's suffering to fuel infernal flames around them. The damage is increased based on the percentage of target's health missing, and killing your target with this power builds 25% more action points and spawns a soul puppet. Okay, we gotta try this. I'm gonna do a little damage. Weaken him. Alright, that's a lot. Let's use Q. Oh my gosh!
Press Q to cast Killing Flames. Killing an enemy with this spell spawns a soul puppet.
What the heck's a soul puppet? It's a pet! Oh my gosh, I got a pet. How long do you last? Oh my gosh, I am loving this class already. This class, I can see where they're going with this, and I'm loving the mechanics. Okay, let's do some damage. Q. And I cannot have more than one soul puppet at a time. I am very curious how long this soul puppet lasts, though. We'll see. Okay, there's another Warlock. Looks like he's doing the same thing, trying it out. Let's zip forward. Zip, zip, zip. And pew. Oh, that is just fantastic. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Private Wilfred, we're back. We're ready to move forward.
Hello again. You're
Yes.
looking a good deal
Moving
fiercer
on.
than when you washed up on the beach.
Sleeping Dragon Bridge. This is just the tutorial zone, of course. Once we get out of this, it'll be more open world. Although, to be frank, there's only one real hub city that matters, and that's just Neverwinter. Everything else is just side quest zones. You'll do most of your leveling there, of course, but... Shadow Slip, that's what it's called. Increasing speed and damage resistance. Awesome sauce. I'm loving this, loving this, loving this. Whoa. Okay, that was a lag. Just got rubber banded pretty bad there. Get me out of here, please. Alright. Let's damage this soldier. Nope, I'm sorry, I didn't want to kill it quite yet. Okay. One more damage. Now we'll use the flames. Soul Puppet here. And we'll kill you. We've now got our 3 spirals, so we're at maximum damage potential. Let's move forward. Now, I'm lacking any form of AoE right now, which is unfortunate. But I'm making up for it with just raw damage, and having a pet never hurt nobody. What's this? A bone pin. Ah! We'll kill you off, shall we? What's going to be interesting is once they release the first boss very shortly, how does my single target damage hold up? I'm going to guess pretty well. Just going on a hunch? I actually can attack fairly fast, all things considered. This is going to be a great at-will ability. So I'm probably going to end up keeping this for most of the game, depending on what they offer, but... You know, that is one of the things about Neverwinter. You know, you'd think that as you level up and you get progressively more powerful, you'd think you'd want to keep using your more powerful and, you know, higher level abilities, but really not necessarily. Depending on the situation, like, for example, with my rogue, some of the early abilities remain to the best, and you'll end up doing the best damage with that, so... It's worth considering. Never rule out the early level stuff. It scales fairly nicely. Okay, here comes our first big enemy. We'll just go ahead and launch Oop. Create ourselves another spiral real quick. Attack her with that. And I lost my puppet, but that's okay. What else did we get? Minor potions. New daily power. Root of Hadar. Alright, so this is the one we saw earlier. Slows, they'll be attacked by spawn horrors. Roots them in place. Nearby targets also. So it's an AoE, hold main target, while also slowing. Oh my gosh, this is just absurdly powerful. Okay. And the new shadow power is Shadow Walk. I run 10% faster while shadow slipping. As if I needed to move even faster than I already was. So that's pretty awesome.
We're going to make it.
Let's go ahead and get these down. I'm gonna spawn myself a shadow puppet, or soul puppet. There we go. And just deal with these fools the old-fashioned way. What are they gonna do? The answer is nothing. Nothing they can do against the power of the Warlock. I am Pravus. Fear me. Please, fear me. I demand to be feared. It's my only way of validating my existence. First boss, how is this gonna hold up? Oh, you gon' die. Yeah, that's Valindra right there. She's a kind of creepy boss, but she's kind of, sort of, a little bit of a ripoff of the Lich King, in my opinion. But, I don't want to upset people too much by saying things like that. Oops, I didn't mean to attack the boss directly, but okay. Let's use my ability. Whoops, let's get out of this first. Use Brood of Hadar. Oh, that is interesting. Very interesting. I'm loving it. There we go. Dodge out of that ability. Let's dodge past this one. There we go. And I can tell you right now, these spirals are worthless. Once I've expended them, I don't feel like taking the time to generate a new one for minimal damage, so not really worth it to me. So that's not very good against bosses, as I suspected. Alright, let's identify an item. And it's got 2 defense. Very nice. So that's what I look like now. Cool! Let's go talk to Wilfred. Hey, buddy. You dead yet? Can I absorb your soul?
You have to.
There really ought to be alignments in this game. Like any proper Dungeons & Dragons, you should be able to be either good, neutral, or evil, and then either lawful, neutral, or chaotic. I would totally be chaotic evil with this character, or maybe chaotic neutral. I don't know. Warlocks never struck me as good. They could be, but it's more fun to be evil, let's be honest. But that is currently lacking from Neverwinter, so... And I kind of doubt they'll ever introduce it. But you never know. You never know. I'm still holding out hope. Now, there are a lot of different class balances that have come with this game, and this is honestly the one thing I dislike about the developers of Neverwinter. They tend to overpower and then nerf to ever-loving hell classes that were already nerfed and overpower other ones even more. I don't know. Like, for example, the Great Weapon Fighter was really overpowered recently. It was doing so much cleave damage with lifesteal, it was practically unkillable. And they said, okay, well, you're supposed to be more of a DPS class, not a tank. So we're going to take away some of your defense. And you think, okay, that's fair. And then they decided to nerf their damage by, well, last I saw, it was up to 60%. I'm not sure if that actually is what they went with when on release, but... In the meantime, so they basically just nerfed the hell out of the Great Weapon Fighters. Rangers are still overpowered, and classes like the Rogues, for example, which is what I play, remain still very horribly neglected and just not able to compete in terms of damage. And they're not really doing anything about it. I don't expect anything to change about it for months. So the way that the devs have been balancing this game, I kind of question their expertise, but this is Cryptic Studios, and they've been doing games for a long time. Very successful MMOs, the ones that I enjoyed back in the day. City of Heroes and Villains, for example. That was fun. That's a headless tongue and teeth and eyes right there. How fun. Alright, let's just zip forward a little bit. So, I do question the balancing of this. Clerics, for example, have been nerfed, and they're the only real healers in the game. I wouldn't really nerf them unless you're going to have a bunch more healers. That said, let's see how the Warlock plays out. That might find a bit more diversity in the classes for the endgame content. Maybe. I'm hoping. We'll see, though. Oh, that's a Dragonborn right there. You're new. You didn't used to be in the game. And the graphics are suffering a lot right now, which tells me this game is really straining from the extra players. Dragonborn. Meet with General Barash and Protector's Enclave. Leader of the Dragonborn army in Neverwinter. Huh. That's new. Okay. Not sure if I want to do that right now. Sergeant Knox. This is where the main story progresses.
Wilfred is dead.
Yes, Wilfred is dead. Let's get myself my first round of rewards. No, I don't want to talk to the player. There we go. I get a worn Pact Blade, which apparently is my style of weapon. Pact Blade. This does extra damage, so I'll take that. Extra damage, extra power. How could you possibly argue with that? And that's pretty much it for the opening segment tutorial of the game. I'm going to get some fashion clothing, but no one really cares about that. So I'm going to end this video here, but I can already tell you right now I'm seeing a lot of potential for what they're doing with this Warlock. If the numbers add up and this does as much damage as it promises, I can already see that the mechanics are definitely going to be something I'm going to enjoy. So I'm going to do some more videos of this, showing more gameplay of the Warlock, at least the early game footage, maybe further, depending on how this video does. In the meantime, I think that's about everything I want to show you. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Pravus with Pravus Gaming and Neverwinter with the latest Module 4, Tyranny of Dragons, and the Scourge Warlock. Wow, that was a mouthful. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.